Hey everyone, what a day I've had. So I was thinking, what's a nice, simple video I can do? And then I thought, why not talk about Nate Diaz as a fighter and his whole career? So obviously he came into a lot of people's minds on the Ultimate Fighter season 5, and I think he won that season, didn't he? And I believe he was on Team Pulver, and after he won the Ultimate Fighter, he fought high-level opponents for most of his career. Like some guys, they faced lower-tier opponents so they can pad their records. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. A lot of fighters do it, but Nate Diaz never did that. He always fought high-level opponents, and he always gave them some of the best fights in their career up until that point. And I felt like Nate Diaz had a very fan-friendly style from the outset. Obviously, as his career progressed, he became more of a striker. But the one criticism I would say on Nate, he never evolved with the sport, and the fact he left his lead leg wide open to be kicked towards the end of his career. But that's basically why the second half of his career he basically lost most of his fights, because he never evolved with the sport. And as I say, if you're going to leave your lead leg wide open to be hit like a target and not check any kicks at all, then you get what you get. And unfortunately, his last couple of years, he had some really bad performances, because as I said, he never evolved with the sport. Like the Masvidal fight for the BMF belt, even though I thought it was a stupid fight ultimately, cause even in that fight, Masvidal pieced him up. And yes, I know people are going to say the referee stopped the fight early, but in my opinion, I don't think he did, because Masvidal was piecing him up on the feet. And yes, Nate Diaz might have come back, but in my opinion, Nate Diaz was never going to come back in that fight. And then let's look at the Leon Edwards fight. For most of that fight, Leon Edwards was kicking his ass, and then Nate Diaz threw one punch and he was able to rock Leon Edwards. And then all of a sudden, people forget about most of the fight. The one thing I will say about Diaz, the word to sum him up is warrior inside the cage. He was an absolute warrior. He never gave up. He never quit. Because let's be honest, some fighters, when they get into the heavy water, they mentally give up. They mentally tune out the fight. But Diaz never did that, in my opinion. So ultimately, Diaz will go down in history as one of the most fan-friendly fighters of all time, and obviously beat Conor McGregor at Conor McGregor's high point, or one of his high points, and he didn't just beat him, he submitted him with a rear naked choke. And from that moment, Nate Diaz was a big draw. And before that, Dana White said he wasn't a needle mover. So ultimately, whether you like Nate Diaz or not, whether you like his stuff outside of the cage or not. Which, to be honest with you, I think it's a bit embarrassing at this point. 38 years old, to be getting into fights on the strip and to be getting into fights backstage at events when you're not even supposed to be there, when you're not even on the card, and to get into a fight at Miss Ritz, I just think it makes Nate Diaz look really embarrassing to be honest. And unfortunately, for a lot of people, myself included, that will tarnish his legacy if he keeps on doing that. Because eventually he's gonna be like 55 years old, still acting like he's 25. And if you want to support that, then go ahead. But I just think it's embarrassing, and it get to the point where it's like, come on mate, grow up. But as I say, in the cage, he's an absolute warrior. So let me know what you think about Nate Diaz, and obviously you got a fight with Jake Paul coming off from the bad work that I've seen. I think Nate Diaz looked terrible. I mean, as we all know, there's a big difference between MMA boxing and actual boxing. Like for example, a good MMA striker is probably a lower tier boxer, and that's what Nate is. He's a lower tier boxer. I think he leaves too much on his lead leg, and he can't fight going backwards. And when he throws a punch, his back leg goes up in the air. And I just think, from what I've seen of his bad work, I just don't think he will cause Jake Paul any problems, to be honest. And I would not be surprised if Jake Paul gets the finish in the first 5 rounds. Because as I say, the way Nate Diaz fights on his lead foot, I think Jake will have a field day with the counters. Because if you ever seen a Jake Paul fight, you know he loves them counters, and he loves that right hand, and I can just see Jake finding a way to hit it. And as I said, I think it'll either be a Jake Paul finish, or it will be a Jake Paul decision. I don't think Nate Diaz will beat Jake Paul, not for 1 second. Now I could be horribly wrong, and if I am horribly wrong, I would say I was wrong. But from what I've seen so far, it doesn't look good. But as I say, I could be proven wrong if we see more footage, or if on the night he turns up and he's a lot better than we all think he is. From what I've seen so far, I think Jake will not have any problems with Nate. As I say, I think the most likely is a Jake Paul decision. But I would not be surprised if we see a knockout, because as I say, the way Nate Diaz fights as a boxer, I think he leaves himself open. So that's just my opinion, of course. Please leave your opinions down below, and I know a lot of people are gonna hate this, and it is what it is. Just my opinion. At the end of the day, leave yours down below. So thank you for watching, and I will speak to you later. See you soon. Thank you for the support.